Greetings and salutations, wonderful people. My name is Scribe, and welcome to part 11 of the Elder Scrolls 1 Arena. In the last episode, we went to Stone Keep, whereupon I was cursed with glitches and other things galore. So this is not the first time I've been recording this episode. I've been recording for 30 minutes, to be specific. But I forgot to unmute the microphone, so I can't use any of it. I mean, I could just record over it, but no. So we're going to be redoing everything again. I'm going to try to repeat things that I was saying beforehand, before I realized the goof. Something I learned in researching the riddle for the Fang Lair episode was that there is a secret area that requires a resist fire spell. So we're going to get the spell Salamander Skin. We're going to look for elemental resistance, fire, and we want a increased chance of 10% per level, and then we want 5 rounds per level. I think that's reasonable. So that's a 120% chance with about 60 rounds, which is about 5 seconds per level. Or at our current level. It'll get better later, but for now this is fine. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to actually use the rest of this money to peruse what magic items they have. Ooh! That's very expensive. That's very expensive indeed, but I want those. I want both of those. That's a minus 10 right there. Oh, mama. Alright, so we should probably check our potions. If I somehow run out of all of those during the course of this recording, shock does not begin to cover the range of emotions that will go through me at that moment, but safe to say, I think we're fine. I think we'll be fine. That fanfare just not make me feel better. Alright. Shift M. Let's keep on trucking. Fang Lair. We are just coming here to map everything out for the sake of treasure and for the sake of my sanity. Whatever dwindling amount of that is left. Right, I need to save in case, heaven forbid, I die. We're just going to reuse that. Realistically speaking, nothing really changed between that save and this one. I didn't do anything different, but fresh start. So we are going to be going through this first floor. There's a big chunk I didn't explore that I'm going to. But once we've mapped it out, I will be ready to continue into the next main story section, which thankfully a viewer helpfully explained to me that the item to continue the quest does not actually do like a specific quest marker. It's just whatever is the next quest marker you need to get to the next dungeon. So I can actually just keep going to Stonekeep, and there's no like limitation or anything. I will not be doing that because I find that boring compared to playing it more organically and doing all the other like dungeons and such. I don't find that very fun. So, and I make the rules. This is my Let's Play. I get to do what I want. If I want to shoot extra dimensional blowhigh at enemies, extra dimensional stuffed sharks at my enemies, I will do it. Dagnabbit. So, one interesting relationship I have with these games is that I played them weird. Wrong. I played them wrong. Normally, I don't believe that there is a wrong way to play a video game. I feel like interacting with the game is its own reward. But in this case, I definitely played this game wrong. I played most of the Elder Scrolls games wrong. What I would do is I would power level all of my skills, or just power level in general. In this game, how I managed it is I abused the fact that if you rest too much, they will send enemies after you. So what I would do is I would like sit in a corner of a dungeon, and I would just rest until enemies spawned in, and I would kill them. And then once they were all dead, I would rest again, and I'd just keep doing that until I got to whatever level I wanted. And I didn't have to worry about diminishing returns because the enemies that spawn when you rest do not like have any particular like limitation. They are scaled off your level. Excuse me. I am still sick, and I also need water because my throat is getting very dry very easily. Anyway, so I would do that, and it wasn't great. I mean, it was fun for me, but I mean, in hindsight, it's kind of boring considering I can achieve that exact same level of power just playing the game normally. I mean, you've seen what I've done. In less than 10 episodes, I became a god. So yeah, but I also did this in Daggerfall. I did a little differently in Daggerfall. So what I would do is I would sit in an empty room, usually when I rented. And how I would get the money for it is I would step outside of the city limits, and I would get something to attack me. And then when it attacked me, I would go and I'd kill it, I'd loot it, I'd sell off the loot, and then that would let me get an in room. And then with that in room, I could cast spells, and I would just keep doing that until I ran out of time, in which case I would just do it all over again. Repeat, and then I could level everything up to 100 by just sitting in a room, as long as I had a spell to cast for it, of course. But that process became less complicated in Morrowind. Now you may be thinking, those of you who have played Morrowind, but DLC, it causes something to happen if you rest. So how do you get around that? Well, the funny thing is, that doesn't trigger in the census office. So So I would sit in the opening area of Morrowind. Pretty much is only noteworthy for two things. You go there to make your character, to finish your character's class and then be released. And for that one side quest in Seyda-Neen. Other than that, totally unremarkable location. But it was remarkable for me because I could use that area to power level without being disturbed. There was a bedroll right there. I could sleep as many times as I wanted. At one point, I actually figured out that auto run was a thing by using caps lock and I believe the Q key to auto walk. And so using that particular combination, I went to bed one night, woke up, and my athletics had been power leveled. Again, it wasn't fun per se, but I felt like a dopamine hit from seeing everything become so like strong. And that's just a high I can't get anymore. Like I can't do that. The thought of doing it exhausts me. I would rather just play the game normally. Like doing this. This is, I mean, maybe a bit repetitive because I've already been through this area before and I've completed it. I don't have to come back, but like playing it normally like this, like revisiting a location, I'm getting treasure, I'm getting experience points still, I'm still leveling, but I can also completely map out an area and complete it. And that's just more rewarding than sitting in a corner waiting for enemies to spawn. Sorry about that, I needed a drink of water again. Anyway, so yeah, how I managed it in Oblivion. Because I mentioned I did play a little bit of Oblivion. I think all I did was like, I think I did an introduction to the Mages Guild, I think, and then I did something about a painting. I never finished that one because that's the reason why I had to stop that playthrough. Is because I realized I power leveled and my damage wasn't good enough because everything had eclipsed me. So I couldn't like beat that quest, and that was what made me stop playing. Was because I realized my mistake, so I gave up that character. So how I managed it though, for Oblivion fans who would like to inform me where I went wrong exactly. I know where I went wrong. It was deciding that power leveling a character instead of playing the video game and letting my skills progress naturally was better than doing what I just said. I would simply put a stack of coins on the cast key because that would make the character use magic if you held the key down. I did it that way, and I just let it go. I really didn't even need to do anything. Like, at least in Morrowind, I actually had to like click the key over and over and over again. But in that one, no siree, did not have to do that. I just had to put a stack of coins on it. Ironically, I used that same strategy in Fallout 1 for the gambling trick, because I did not want to sit there holding those keys for hours on end. So I would just put coins on it, and it works. I mean, I could probably like set up an actual like program to do it, but doing it with the keys was actually kind of easier because I could like figure out what order I wanted each key hold to register first, which was better for Fallout. Skyrim though was really annoying to do power leveling in because which is funny because that's the one that actually lets you have an infinite level, and it's the one with the most annoying power leveling because in Daggerfall and Morrowind and Oblivion, you get experience by casting the spell. So it's really simple. Like, as long as you are casting that spell, you're getting experience. In Skyrim, specific actions and states can add experience. For example, the alteration skill. How I found I got the most experience out of it was one of two factors. Early on, it was using flesh spells in combat. Like you would cast it, and you would get a pretty good chunk of XP out of it. And then later on, it was using telekinesis, like holding it up against something where it wouldn't go away or like accidentally hit somebody, and then just hold telekinesis. I've also seen people use tricks where they have like a 0 cost to their magicka, and they will like fast travel while doing that, and then they'll like reappear and they'll just have like completely maxed out their alteration skill. I've tried it out once and I got it to work, but I didn't really abuse it at that point because I had begun to go through my character development of like, hey, maybe I shouldn't just abuse the game. Maybe I don't want it to do this. But I'm sure past me would have abused it to no end. So anyway, Skyrim also doesn't like for destruction, you have to actually like cause damage to creatures. So like you can reset that and go and level it again, but like really I wouldn't. Alchemy is way easier to do that for, to be honest, because like at least you can, at least then the ingredients are still there. Like you can just go do it and like get it done in like under an hour, you know. Whereas like destruction and restoration, especially restoration, takes a while. The fastest way I've ever seen to level restoration is turn spells on undead. But even then, it can be time consuming. So you may also be asking, do I always play mages in the Elder Scrolls? The answer is yes. Anything I can play a mage in, I play a mage in, even if it's bad. Although I can't remember. I might be wrong. Maybe there is some game out there I've played where playing a mage was like objectively the bad decision. But I've yet to encounter a game where playing a mage is like an awful decision. It can definitely be hard in some ways, depending on the system. Like, for example, I wouldn't exactly call it hard to play a mage in, like, Dragon's Dogma, for example. But that's just because Dragon's Dogma, it's a gameplay style. It's no different than, like, how the Warrior or the Strider classes are gameplay styles, you know? But They're not bad, they're different. I have definitely come across a lot of games where playing mages is overpowered. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of them. I've heard about a lot of stuff that people can do in Baldur's Gate 3 with mages, which doesn't surprise me considering Dungeons & Dragons. Like, I know some of those spells, and I can tell that they're probably ridiculous. But Elder Scrolls especially, mages are just so good. I don't even need to explain myself. Like, you've seen this playthrough. You know what I can do. I can do so much more in the later games. Morrowind, honestly, I feel like was the peak for power for a mage. Not really because, like, they had so much stuff. More just, like, the scale of it. Ugh. I'll be glad when I kick this sickness. But, like, you could do so much in Morrowind. Just so much, and just the versatility was just terrifying. Like, don't get me wrong, it's great in Arena, and it's great in Daggerfall. Like, I would definitely say Daggerfall is what began, like, what really cemented mage supremacy in these games. Like this game, you can play a warrior and you'll be fine. It's probably harder to play more like a thief class or something, but like for just like a basic fighter or a knight or like a barbarian, it's fine. And like mages are definitely overpowered, but you can still beat the game just fine as any other class. Daggerfall, I don't know. I just feel like that's the game. I think it's because of Mark and Recall. I think those two spells definitely like cemented just how useful and powerful a mage character is going to be. They tried to fix it in the later games. Like, obviously, I understand why some of the effects aren't in Oblivion. But, like, I feel like some of the other gameplay changes they made were specifically because they were probably seeing a lot of comments about people feeling, you know, maybe sad that they didn't get to feel as powerful as the mages did. Especially considering, like, the main way to balance mages usually is you just make them squishy. You make them squishy, you make them die in like one hit, and that's how you do it. You know, it's the old, you know, D4 trope. You know, like dies of 1d4 anything. But they didn't do that in the Elder Scrolls. Like don't get me wrong, if you build with like a race class combo specifically for mages, you're gonna have less hit points, but like it doesn't matter quite as much. It's completely gone by Skyrim, because everybody starts with the same everything, but we'll get to that. But basically, the mages didn't really get nerfed per se. Like they were balanced-ish in Morrowind, because of the spell failure chance. They were balanced-ish in Daggerfall because of the spell costs and the risks of resting. It's the same thing in this game, although there are ways around that. Daggerfall made it a lot harder to do what I'm doing. The only reason I am able to do everything that I have done as Caetheryn across all of these episodes is because of how the potions worked. When they changed how the potions functioned, and especially how you got them in Daggerfall, it patched a lot of holes in this gameplay style and made it a lot riskier, a lot less blasé, where you have to actually be very particular about what you're doing and when you use a spell, because you might not get that back if you rest at an inopportune moment. Now, sure, you can save scum and rest and do all sorts of stuff. I did that for quite a while, but like, it doesn't remove the fact that you're having to be careful. If anything, it kind of accentuates it, that you're having to be careful, even going as far as to like save if you can't get that rest off, and you have to save frequently. But you know, then again, I didn't play Daggerfall the normal way. I have tried to play it. I played it as a sorcerer, which maybe that's where my paranoia is, because of the way the potion system works. I couldn't break the game as a sorcerer like I could in this game, because potions don't have any weight in this game. So you can carry thousands, like literally thousands, and it doesn't matter. As long as you have the money, you can just keep buying potion after potion after potion. And in Daggerfall, I believe they have weight now. They also are a lot rarer, because of how you can't just buy them from the Mages Guild like you can in this game. Which, from a gameplay perspective, I approve of, because a mage character is going to join the Mages Guild, so they will have access to those potions, and then you have the same problem all over again. At that point, like, the only thing limiting the potions is the weight, and the fact that they scale off your level. I mean, what? On the other hand, I do question why they don't have them. Like, I do question it. Just a little bit. I don't mean to question our forefather, Mr. Julian LaFay, and others, but I do want to gander why. I mean, I know why, because they wanted to spread out the benefits. Because in this game, everything is done through the Mages Guild. There's no Fighters Guild. There is only Blacksmith, Mages Guild. Actually, yeah, that's it. Just Blacksmith and Mages Guild. And Tavern. But Tavern is just there so you can sleep. So I get it. I do think that it makes more sense in the later games, where you can buy potions from the Mages Guild. What time are we at? Okay. I need to be very careful about, like, time. Oh, you're still here. I remember coming across you later. I was actually almost done mapping it out, too. And I had realized what had happened. And I was so embarrassed. I'm still kind of embarrassed about it, because I should have checked first. And I did not. Okay. Oh, there's no other one here. Okay. Alright, we'll head down this corridor and then we'll go into the spooky room. Okay, still got a little bit. Oh. Of course, that is the reason why my loyalty to Bella is what it is. Because Debella was one of the potion vendors. The temple to Debella was one of the potion vendors. So naturally, I was much more inclined to be on her side. She was where I was getting my addiction from. I was getting my fix. Sir. Stop it. Aww. That's not fun. Alright, we gotta drop stuff. Really? Alright, fine. Be that way. I will drop it here then. Dropping that. And that. And that. We're dropping everything that I don't think is going to get me a lot of money. Alright. This all gets to stay. Everything else can not be there. Alright, cool. I don't even know how much that's gonna get me, but it should get me enough to get that at least. I don't need the pauldron, but I want the helm. Because that's gonna be quite a lot. Oh, there's another one there. I click on this. Okay. That kind of looks like Molag Ball to me. Like, I get it's probably supposed to just look like a demon, but like... the resemblance, though, with how he's usually been depicted. Oh, there's a lot of you today. Oh, there is a lot of you today. Oh. Right. That. Goodness gracious. Yeah, let's top up here. Actually, out of curiosity, how many am I at now? How many have I expended? That's more than I thought. Okay. Maybe it isn't too crazy to imagine going through that many. To be fair, I'm also not using my staff as much. Because I'm testing out just how viable a pure mage is. I mean, okay. Hypothetically, you could do it with no weapons, assuming, this is a big assume, but assuming, really, again? This really isn't an arachnophobic's worst nightmare, isn't it? I do apologize in advance. I mean, no longer in advance, but just in general, I apologize. I don't care that they're pixelated. They can still be scary. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. Da, 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 da. Now, naturally, naturally, a lot of the like the new stuff that got that is like more noteworthy of the Elder Scrolls, like the crafting, that's all Todd Howard editions. Like in Daggerfall, you can't make your own potions. You get somebody to make them for you. In Morrowind, that's where they added the idea of being able to prepare your own stuff. I think I did go that area, and there's nothing there. So this part, though, I don't remember. So we're gonna head over there just to be sure, because I haven't rediscovered that area, and I think that's where it is. Conjuration also isn't a thing for a while. Closest is an item in Daggerfall, but you can't summon your own dudes, your own minions, which is a crying shame. That's kind of what stops Daggerfall from just being the clear-cut, like, best game for me, because it speaks to me personally about how it goes about it, like the way it's designed to make you really step into the shoes of your adventurer is so great. Like, just fun little anecdote. When I first started playing the game, I went into a shop because I wanted to buy something, and I couldn't buy anything because I was talking to the guy. I was talking to the vendor. And it was only until I ended up clicking on one of the shelves by accident I realized that you browse the store by literally browsing the store, by going to everything and clicking on the shelves. And each of the shelves have like their own little thing. And that was everything. I mean, imagine like all you've like really known is like a couple hours of Morrowind and then just Skyrim, and like damn, I never experienced anything like that before. So it's just incredible. Just these games are so good. Like words cannot describe how great these games are. Even this first one. This first one is like, it's probably the roughest of all the games, and I still have fun. Alright, we're good to move on to the next part, which I can pretty easily get there by just heading west along these pathways, so we're gonna do that. Because path of least resistance. Sorry about that. Alright. Back we go. Yep. So yeah, I really love this one because it still gives you that like good dungeon crawl experience, you know? Like this is having to map out a sprawling complex. And at least the pre-crafted dungeons, in my opinion, are really good. Like I still enjoy the kind of like mishmash dungeons that they have, where you can where it's like different handcrafted dungeons that are like stacked in different orders depending. Like those are still fun, but it's the main quest dungeons that are the real showstoppers. I mean, your first one is a prison complex filled with rats and goblins, and that sounds pretty basic, but then you get into Stone Keep and just like the flavor text added, talking about how, you know, everything was like destroyed and overrun by goblins, and there's just nothing but wolves and orcs and all that, and it's really atmospheric. And then you go into Fang Lair and it's like this just destroyed, abandoned mine. Oh no. Hey, you know what? I've had enough of this. You guys have tormented me for too long. And so, as your punishment, fireball. Okay, maybe that was overkill to kill like 4 of them, but still, man, they were annoying. Alright, now, I need to recast the Shield of No Thank You because I probably took out a gigantic chunk of my hit points that way. Shield of No Thank You. Let's fill her back up. Wait, if the quest items aren't... If I walk in here, is there going to be another piece of the Staff of Chaos? I don't... The problem is I don't know. I didn't think about that, did I? I also completely forgot to immediately give thanks to the commenter who explained why that other note led to Labyrinthian, because that note does not have a specific quest thing. It's just there to give you the next piece. So you can't just keep going to Stone Keep. I'm not, because it's boring. Wait, I think I did say that. It's been a trying day, I'm sorry. Anyway, so Game. Hang on. Out of curiosity, if I cast Levitate, does this save me? No. Game.
It seems that you are well chosen. I see that you have won the first piece of the staff. That in and of itself is not a simple task. Tharn, it seems, is not as concerned with you as I had thought he would be. Perhaps he thinks you dead or lost in the sewers from which you escaped. That is well. for I have discovered the second piece's location. There was once a great maze built by the Archmagus Shalador to guard what he called Glamour, the elven term for the secret of life. I know not the location of the great maze, which was called the Labyrinthian, but somewhere in its twisted corridors lies the second piece of the Staff of Chaos. Shalador, according to the old text, made his home in the Fortress of Ice. He would not have built the Labyrinthian far from his home. I would search to the north for such a place. I wish you well on your journey.
That's all well and good, but how does this help my current situation? Did it? Oh my gosh, okay. Alright, we're saving before that happens again. Okay. We're gonna cast float again before I do anything, so I can make sure this is like all nice and mapped out. But I also don't want to go swimming in lava, so call me crazy, but my girl does not want to bathe in lava. Oh, hello. Oh. This is embarrassing. I targeted a corpse. There we are. We can't target corpses. We have to target future corpses. There are rules. How is this going, actually? Oh, cool. We're almost done. So yeah, she theorizes that he doesn't know that I'm out, but he does, as we saw in the last episode. He's aware of my presence. He knows what I've done. He just doesn't think I'm as much of a big deal as I am. What he doesn't know is that I am both insane enough to challenge him and addicted enough to restore power potions to do what is necessary to continue my addiction. Alright, now I'm gonna wait here for like however long it takes the spell to wear off. Oh, that's neat. And now you get to O. Oh, okay, I can just go around. I was about to say, oh no. I don't want to go swimming in that just yet. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if there's a brand spanking new piece here. It did respawn. What happens if I take it again? Just hypothetically. Interesting. So it treats that as the tablet I need to find the location of Labyrinthian. So I wonder if that means that if I can just keep doing Stone Keep over and over and over again, that it will count as getting Staff of Chaos pieces. Okay, now I'm just fascinated. This is... It's an interesting way to handle the video game. Let's go swimming in lava now. I am pretty sure this should be damaging me, by the way. I just both have fire resistance and a lot of health right now. There we are. As you can see, I am unharmed. Oh my goodness, this is certainly a game, isn't it? I didn't even know about that. Oh, the fact that I can just any percent escape by doing that. If that is true, and I could just do that, that is hilarious to me. Like, obviously, I don't recommend it. But just, that's so funny. It really does just count each particular quest item as whatever you need next. That's so funny. Now see, this one you can't blame on Todd, because he wasn't responsible for programming this. This is the one time we can't blame our Lord and Savior, but it is still hilarious. I cannot believe that's how that works. Oh my gosh. I mean, when the commenter said that, I just assumed that it was like, oh, it's just like for like finding locations, right? It's like, no, apparently not. When they said it was the next quest piece, they meant the next quest piece. I'm just flabbergasted, really. Oh my goodness. Just works. I'm taking a sip of my water. You know, in hindsight, like, alright, not like in hindsight, like, I can understand the thought process that, like, oh, they're not gonna go back to a dungeon, because why would they? You know? Like, there's literally no reason to come back here. I don't really think they thought, like, I don't think that they considered the scenario of somebody not mapping out the dungeon, getting the piece, leaving, and then randomly deciding, oh wait, but treasure. Like, I don't think that is necessarily, that's such a specific case that I just wouldn't, I mean, I wouldn't have bothered either, but it's still crazy to me, you know, that's what they did. Like, oh my goodness. Alright, I recorded an hour again. Okay, we're gonna end the video here, and then we will resume next time. There's probably not going to be any annotations here because I I think for once I feel like my commentary is enough for this. So we're gonna leave it at that, and I will see you in the next episode.